Good morning, Rebecca Vigus, the writer whisperer, here from a very sunny South Central Kentucky. It is approximately 68 degrees, so it's a little warmer than it has been. I have talked several times about different books and that I've read or worked with on my writing journey. Bonnie Neubauer's book and her little wheel. Um, Judy Miller's, where I've given you the list of things and told you to pick one. Okay. I've also referenced If You Can Talk, You Can Speak. This is by Joel Saltzman. He teaches it as a course. I don't remember which university, but there are pop quizzes throughout it, samples, assignments. It's an amazing little book, and it is actually only about 189 190 pages. I recommend this one. I highly recommend this one, especially if you struggle with dialogue, because this one will work you through it. Another one I have, and this one's actually autographed by the author, who is Bob Mayer. I don't know if you've read any Bob Mayer, but you need to. His are Sit on the Edge of Your Seat. He lectures Sit on the Edge of Your Seat. He's kind of amazing, but it's called the Novel Writer's Toolkit, and it's a guide to writing great fiction and getting it published. Okay, it has numerous things in here. As I look at just the table of contents, he starts with tool number 1, yourself. Internal characterization of a writer. Oh, wait, you are the first tool in writing. Without you, it doesn't get written. Tool number 2 are your surroundings. Where in the heck are you when you're writing? Tool 3 is your idea and how you're going to develop it. Tool 4 is your preparation. Do you need to do research? Do you need to do book dissection? Do you need to turn the idea into a story? Tool 5, your story. What to avoid, narrative structure, the plot, starting your novel, pacing your novel, and ending your novel. Endings are the hardest thing to write, by the way. Number 6 is your technique, your characters, your point of view, your dialogue, your setting, your subplots. Oh, yeah, there are subplots. There's not just one thing going on. Tool 7, your finesse, the writing style, the editing, the reader. Read a lot. Tool number 8 is your submission, what you do before you submit your novel, the submission mindset, the process, the reflections, and the agent or publisher. Number 9, the tool is your business. Publishing is a process from manuscript to published book, getting reviews, hard to get reviews. Numbers and the entertainment business. Is your book going to be made into a movie? And what numbers can you look for? Numbers being getting paid. Marketing and self promotion. Yes, you have to do this. Writing scams. Watch out for them. Writing groups, conferences, and programs. Hollywood, movie rights, screenplays. That's all for tool number 9. Tool 10 is your future. Ebooks, print on demand, and the future. That includes audiobooks and MP4 downloads, and it is hardcovers. Then there's an enclosing, and then there are several appendixes, A through F, to get you going, and of course, an index. So, your index is, start with A for alibi on page 7. Y'all know about A is for alibi, right? Sue Grafton was writing books, A through Z. Z did not get finished. Sue Grafton died. She spent years writing for TV before she attempted her first novel, which was not A is for Alibi, and was not published. It took getting to letter G is for Gumshoe in her alphabetically titled series to hit the bestseller list. I have a friend who said, "Oh, you're going to love Sue Grafton. She is just the greatest. You need to read A is for Alibi." I hated A is for Alibi and did not finish it. And I never picked up another Sue Grafton book. Does that mean she's not a good writer? No. It means she was not a writer I was fond of. I like David Baldacci. The Memory Man series. I love those. I think Amos is awesome. His YA series featuring Vega Jane, which are a fantasy. I love them. I hear they could be scheduled to be a movie. I'm waiting. I want to see it. I told you about William Kent Kruger yesterday and John Gilstrap. I read Patricia Cornwell. You have to read in what you are writing about. So, I have other books. I found some of them, not all of them. I write crime. I write suspense, thrillers, that kind of thing. When I'm writing for adults, a little bit of romance here and there, but for the most part, that's not what the book is about. So I went looking for books on what I write about. Cause of Death, A Writer's Guide to Death, Murder, and Forensics Medicine by Keith Williams. He's an MD, guys. He knows about this stuff. Code 99, Shock Trauma Unit. Code 99, Shock Trauma Unit. A surgeon and 2 nurses from the code team burst into the room and moved into action. Okay, if you're in a hospital, we had code blue. It depends on where you work. Depends on what the hospital actually does. I worked in a hospital 7 years in the pharmacy as a pharmacy technician. And we filled all the meds that went up to the patient floors. And we had a dumbwaiter that would send down orders in between where they needed new meds to get started. And so we would fill those and send up, the next 2 or 3 doses, depending on when the carts were going up with all the medications for the floor. Yep, we did that. How to tell a murder from a suicide. Oh, that's a good one. So that's one of the books I bought. Another I bought was Private Eye. And as you can see, I have a bookmark here. The bookmark is in chapter 10, and it's initiating client relationships. And I have all kinds of notes on this paper that you can't see because they were written in pencil, and pencil on color doesn't work. A friend of mine and I are going to write. We're working on a co-authored book about a private investigator. So there are things we have to know. This book takes you behind the scenes, offering an in-depth look at private investigators and how they work. You'll find answers to questions such as, how do people become private investigators in the first place? Where do they work? What kind of jobs do they perform? What procedures do they use? And what tricks and tactics? And most important, how do real investigators differ from those you see in novels and TV? So they're different. Oh, wait, there's more. That one was written by Hal Blythe, Charlie Sweet, and John Landreth. Okay. Here we go. This one's a PhD, Anne Wingate. Scene of the crime. A writer's guide to crime scene investigation. If you've never been on a crime scene and you have no idea how it works, this is the book you want. And it's well written and well informed, and they were done under the How Done It series. That's what it says at the top. How it's done in real life, as opposed to what you see on television or in the movies. Then, and this is probably the most important book you could have if you're writing crime, Armed and Dangerous, a writer's guide to weapons, including accurate information about weapons that can kill your story before the publisher even has finished reading your manuscript. And it's by Michael Newton. Let me tell you something about this. The very first Bourne Identity book. In fact, it was called The Bourne Identity. It was the first Bourne book. On one page, he's holding one weapon, and on the next page, he's holding an entirely different weapon. Hello, why did no one catch this? I remember questioning it as a reader. Why did no one catch this? I think we went from a revolver or a pistol to a semi-automatic gun. Ouch. You have to know your weapons. If you're writing about weapons, know about weapons. Then this one, the next time I run into this author, I am going to get him to autograph this book. I bought it before I met him. Police Procedures and Investigation, written by Lee Laughlin, a former police officer. Yes, it's a guide for writers. Not everything you see on your favorite crime show is accurate. In fact, a lot of it is flat out wrong. With Police Procedure and Investigations, you can finally get all your facts straight. Author Lee Laughlin draws on his nearly 2-decade career as in law enforcement to provide you with a true insider's look at crime fighting. This comprehensive resource includes more than 80 photographs, illustrations, and charts showing everything from defensive moves used by police officers in prison cells and prison cells and autopsies. And there are things that you learn. Lee Laughlin is, if you look up Writers Police Academy, this is him. It's on my list of writing places to go. Writers Police Academy. I am one day going to go there because I think following an investigation would be exciting. I think I would learn more and be a better writer as a result. I think every one of those books I just showed you is a step in the right direction. On my kitchen table is the book, How to Write a Damn Good Thriller. I am working my way through that one right now because I'm writing a thriller and I don't want it to be ho-hum. A thriller can't be ho-hum. So I need to get all the steps right. Am I also reading thrillers? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I read thrillers. I read them because I want to know what makes them good. How'd they get on the bestseller list? What did they write that I haven't? That's a good question. What has somebody written that you can't? Nothing. You can write anything you choose. Your style, your idea, how is it going to change and make it a bestseller, a top of the list, something everybody wants to read? How is it going to happen? Well, if you have no clue, you can't do that. If you are not reading, you can't do that. If you are doing something historical and you haven't researched it, oh my goodness, you are going to be in trouble. Big trouble. And someone's going to write a review and call you on the carpet for whatever it was you missed. How are you going to react to that? What on earth are you going to do? You have a prompt today that's different. Very different. You need to take a sheet of paper and your pen or pencil or whatever you're writing with. And you need to make a list of the tools that you need to write. You're just going to type in your keyboard. That's fine. What program are you going to use? Word, Google Docs, Scrivener. They're all out there. Are you going to use Grammarly to help you get the grammar and the punctuation and everything right? Or are you just going to use Webster's Dictionary or dictionary.com? Please, if you are writing 19th century, do not use an urban dictionary. Words in the urban dictionary they weren't there in the 17th, 18th, or 19th century. I mean, seriously, be accurate. Don't get called down for that. Don't let inaccuracy hold you back. If you are writing mystery, thriller, suspense, what books do you need to read? Thrillers are not all shoot 'em up, guys. There are psychological thrillers where you get into the mind of your